Is it too late to put down weed controls? A bear damaged my persimmon tree. What should I do? And what product should I use on my blueberry bushes? Folks, I've got answers to these questions and more coming up on Garden Sense. Hey everybody, I'm Tim Ward and welcome back to Garden Sense. Well folks, today is May 14th and things are really heating up outside as well as in our inbox. We have been processing a bunch of orders through Rosen's online, and obviously anytime that happens, the emails come flooding in as well. So we selected 5 questions here on today's video podcast, so buckle up everybody, let's jump right in. The first question is from Tim. Hi Tim. I bought the triple play, but have not put down the broadleaf with gallery nor the crabgrass control with dimension because I overseeded my lawn. I did the seeding for the most part 45 to 60 days ago, and the new grass seems pretty strong. Am I too late to put down these weed controls? So at this point, I would not bother putting down either of the products. I would actually hold on to them and put them down in the fall. Again, with the broadleaf weed control, you want to put that down really in, mid-March, very early April. And then obviously in that early April, mid-April timeframe, that's when you want to put down dimension. So if you put them down, it would probably give you some benefit, but not really the complete package in terms of what it can do. So I would actually hold on to them and I would use both of those products in the fall. What I would do though is I would use a product like Image All-in-One Weed Killer that is going to kill your broadleaf weeds and it's going to kill things like crabgrass. So if you see anything popping up in your new lawn, use Image All-in-One Weed Killer over the summer and save gallery as well as dimension for a fall application. The next question is from Charles. Tim, we are new to Florida and have St. Augustine grass. What spray-on weed killer can we use to kill broadleaf and nutsedge? So for broadleaf weeds and something like nutsedge, we again really recommend Image All-in-One Weed Killer. Now, you mentioned that you have St. Augustine grass. When you purchase Image All-in-One and you turn it around and you check out the bottle, you will notice that St. Augustine grass is actually not listed. Well, it is and it isn't. See, the entire world calls St. Augustine grass buffalo grass or buffalo turf. It's really a Floridian thing, an American thing to call it St. Augustine grass. So when you get Image, you'll see right on the back it does say buffalo grass, so you can safely use it. It's going to take care of your broadleaf weeds. It's going to take care of that nutsedge, and it's going to take care of any crabgrass that might be popping up. So head over to Rosen's online and pick up a bottle of Image All-in-One Weed Killer. It'll help clear things right up. The third question is from Lynn. Tim, we purchased a second home on the Virginia shore. I was amazed to learn that the property has gigantic blueberries. I'm 5'6" and they are taller than me. Now I need to learn how to take care of them as they're setting up fruit already. What should I use? Well, first of all, congratulations on finding the new blueberry bushes at your new home. That's always exciting. In terms of products for them, there's a couple that I'd recommend. First of all, I would absolutely put down Garden Trust right now. Typically, you would put it down a little bit earlier before those berries even started to pop up on the bush, but you can put it down right now. It's not going to hurt the bush at all. It is going to help the blueberries a little bit. My guess is your harvest is going to be, mid to end of June, early July based on where you live, but obviously depending on what the temperatures are where you live, that could be pushed out a little bit later as well. So get down Garden Trust right now. I would also use Kickstarts as a soil drench all around the root zone of those bushes. Kickstart's really going to help strengthen the roots. The roots are then going to be able to take in more of that Garden Trust nutrition, which is in turn going to produce bigger berries, a better harvest, and ultimately that's what you want. Finally, what I'd also just start to be thinking about is trying to protect the bush, both from a disease standpoint, but frankly, a little bit more importantly, would be from any type of pests, birds, things like that. I would actually put down neem oil. Neem oil is a natural insecticide. It's actually going to provide some disease protection as well. So putting that down is going to keep the bugs away. It's going to help keep it healthy. And then obviously, again, depending on what the situation is, where the bushes are located, birds love blueberries. You may want to consider some type of netting around the top of it just to prevent the birds from landing on top of it and eating all of your blueberries. So head over to Rosen's Online. You can pick up the Kickstart, you can pick up the Garden Trust, and obviously you can pick up some neem oil. And then, hey, visit your local hardware store, or maybe you have a garden center, and see if you can find just some lightweight netting that you can, fix over top of those blueberry bushes to try and keep the birds away. The next question is from Joe. Tim, I believe this photo is of wild violet. Over the last couple of years, I've tried Dimension, Gallery, and Weed Beater Ultra to no avail. Can you recommend something else? So wild violets are tough, and to really properly control them, because I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure you can ever really get rid of them because they're a very, very difficult thing to control. You need a two-step approach. First of all, you want to use Gallery. Gallery is the product that you're going to want to use, not Dimension so much, but you're going to want to get down Gallery in that early March and then make a second application in the mid-fall. And frankly, you're going to want to repeat that cycle for the next several years to try and prevent those new wild violets from germinating. The other thing that you got to remember is that one application of a Weed Beater Ultra, or any product for that matter, is probably not going to be enough because, again, they are very tough plants. They grow really well, they grow really fast, and they're not the easiest thing to kill, although you can certainly kill them. So you've already tried Weed Beater Ultra. What I would do is I would try Image All-in-One Weed Killer. Again, it lists wild violets on their kill list on the back of their label. But again, I wouldn't just stop at one single application. So I would get something down now, and then, in another 30 days or so, put down a second application. You may need a third application later on in the fall. Again, the idea is to try and eradicate these things long term and not just deal with it every single summer. So if you put down Gallery in the early spring, that's great. Hit them a couple of times between now and the fall with Image. Put down a second application of Gallery, and hopefully by this time next year, the population of wild violets is going to be very, very small. The last question for today is from Bill. Tim, any advice as what to do with my persimmon? It was 4 feet tall last year and got damaged by a bear. I thought it was dead, but this past 2 weeks, I have several little growths on the old trunk. So you've got two options. Either you can dig it out and plant a new persimmon that hasn't gone through the experience with the bear that your current one has, or you can just run with it. And frankly, I would run with it. It's got an established root system already, which is why it's starting to grow. So what I would actually do is I would put down some Garden Trust. Garden Trust is going to help overall from a fruit production, although again, you're not going to get any fruit on it this year, but I would still go ahead and use it. I would also make sure that you're putting down Kickstart. Kickstart is going to just strengthen that root system. Sounds like it went through a pretty traumatic experience with the bear. But again, nature will prevail. So again, if it were my persimmon, I would just try to run with it and see if I can't bring it back. Head over to Rosen's Online, pick up some Garden Trust, pick up some Kickstart, get it down, and then please send in some more pictures as it grows, and keep us updated on the progress. All right, everybody, just a couple final thoughts before we wrap up this week's video podcast. Folks, over at rosensonline.com, we still have the promotion for our Spring Garden Special. Now, folks, the Spring Garden Special is ideal for this time of year. If you're putting in any trees, any shrubs, any flowers, you want to make sure that you take advantage of the special. It contains a single bag of Plant Trust. It contains 3 bags of Garden Trust and a single bottle of Kickstart. Those 3 products combined are going to cover anything that you could be planting over the course of the next couple of weeks. So head over to rosensonline.com and pick up the Spring Garden Special. You're going to save money on the products themselves, and it's going to qualify for free shipping. Now, folks, anytime you're going to be planting something, whether you take advantage of the Spring Garden Special or not, make sure that you are putting down Kickstart. Kickstart is a root enhancer. It's designed to strengthen the root system of the plants. And so by putting it down, you can use it as a foliar spray or as a soil drench. It's just going to make that plant stronger. So a strong plant has a strong root system, and a strong root system takes in more nutrition from the soil, all those minerals and things that we often talk about here. That's what Kickstart is designed to help a plant do. So head over to rosensonline.com, pick up a couple of bottles of Kickstart. Remember, you can also buy it by the case. Folks, as always, we really appreciate all the questions that you send in, and please keep them coming because you do help us produce this video podcast each and every week. You can send them directly to tim@rosensonline.com. Folks, as always, I hope that everyone has an amazing rest of the week, that you enjoy this warmer weather. God bless.